What's going on, everyone? Desktop's Gaming here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we have a case to go over. One in sit over from Deepcool. This one already kind of broken down into its many pieces. Kind of want to go over a few features of the case before we start building in it. This is the Matrexx 70. So let's get into it. As you can see, I already kind of have it broken down into its many pieces. The case does come with 3 of its CF120 fans, so they're ARGB fans by Deepcool. It's one of their kind of proprietary connectors on it. So we'll be doing a build in it today. Like I said, it's an interesting case because it's tempered glass kind of on the front and the side. It has some ventilation along the side here, as well as intake or exhaust here from the top. So we're probably putting our 360 rad up here at the top, and then intake from the front, exhaust out the top, and then the regular 120 in the back. The case does have a couple interesting features. One is this push button release, and we'll get some close-ups here for you guys. And this is how the front releases. And then we also have tempered glass in an interesting place, which is down here along the power supply shroud. Because you can actually take this out if you want to have this open. That's where the drive cage sits there. And then it has a pretty neat RGB strip here at the bottom. We did a build in this case a while back over on Instagram, but wanted to re-review it today because you can actually take this entire front cover off if you'd like. Like I said, and you can also remove the glass here on the power supply shroud. While we're going over the rest of the inside of the case here, like I said, we do have a 360 or up to a 360 space mount here at the top, as well as up to 360 up front. The reason it kind of had a pre-disassembled like this is we also, if we turn it around here, if we pop this off, we can lift the tempered glass out, set that down. Then, like I said in the intro, it does come with the CF120s here. Like I said, it comes with those stock installed already. Like I said, but the interesting thing with this one is we do have a little mesh filter in the front, and we have a removable kind of shroud for water cooling. Like I said, this is pretty neat. Comes out so you can fit up to 120s or 3 120s or 3 140s along this rail system here, and then you can actually mount the rail system back in when you're done. You can do this one-handed. Like I said, so the rail system will mount back in like so. So it gives you the option to take it out to mount your radiators or to mount your fans to, and it just screws in, held in 6 screws there. And then of course you have some routing along the sides here to put in your cabling and everything to pass through for your fans or whatever you're running through that. Going around the case here, we still have that mesh filter at the top. So we have the one at the front. Then we'll go and take a look at the back side. Going around back here, this one does have an interesting little controller built in. If we take a look at the I/O at the top, like I said, we do have the power button here, as well as 2 USB 3s, a USB 2, microphone and headphone jack splits, and then the LED button here. So this one does have a controller built into it to control lighting, so you don't have to run any of the Deepcool stuff. Like I said, you can kind of daisy chain these together without running a separate one. We might end up running another one anyway, because we'll be putting in the Castle. I'm gonna pull it up here for you guys. We're putting in the Castle 360 EX RGB edition. So it comes with the MF120 GT fans on it, really cool fans, and we'll even put our own nameplate on it just for fun here. But yeah, going over the rest of the back side of the case here, like I said, we do have a drive sled here at the bottom. Of course, this is where you put your power supply in, and like I said, it would be visible from the top here. So it would be neat, if you had, say, a power supply that you wanted to show off, having a glass up top is pretty cool. The only thing is it would make it a little harder to hide cables, so I have to try to make it pretty clean. Like I said, speaking of hiding cables, we want to be showing these off today. One of the sponsors of the channel, EasyDLFab. They sent over some of their black and gray sleeved cabling here. So we'll go over some of the other parts we're going to use here. Going to kind of go for the black and silver theme, something kind of minimal. Then in the, like I said, we have the hard drive sled here, and then we have 2.5 inch mounts here. Like I said, and of course the normal range of cutouts here. Like I said, we have some here and here, because technically this one supports up to EATX or SSIEB motherboards. Like I said, if that, it's not really a standard, we'll be putting in an ATX today, but we have the typical cutouts along the top section here. We'll go ahead and kind of boost this up, make it a little easier for you guys to see, a little brighter there. But the typical mounting along the top up here, normal pass-throughs. like I said, and then on the back side, like I said, that's why there's multiple mounts options here, because like I said, this one does support longer motherboards. So that is very nice that it can include that, but like I said, we'll be putting in the standard ATX today. All right, and then looking over the back connections here, we're going to drag these out and make a mess. Spaghetti monster real quick. Like I said, it looks like we have a USB 3 header. Like I said, we have a HD audio and USB 2 header, and then our normal front panel connectors as well. Like I said, it looks like we have the SATA coming off here to power the controller. It's built into the case. That runs over here. You can see this comes up to the little LED button, and there's likely a button down here. Let's take a look real quick. A nice little handy sticker there. That just kind of says to unplug this connector if you're going to use your motherboard power for the lighting. You don't need the SATA power if that's the case. All right, well, that about goes over all of the hookups there and what's along the back side. Let's go over what we're going to put in the case today and how we're going to build it. We'll just take a look at the I/O real quick. Like I said, I already had these two popped out since we've built in this one before. And then, of course, we have our normal mounting here. It has a little cover plate. We'll go over that. Of course, the motherboard I/O is going to go there. Power supply screwing in from there. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into what parts we're using today and go and get a build started where we can do some thermal testing. Let's go to the case off to make some room here where we can go over the parts. Like I said, we're going to go with our normal suite here. Like I said, the Aorus X570 Elite here from Gigabyte. Like I said, that'll be the motherboard we're running today. For RAM, since we wanted to go, like I said, for that silver and kind of black aesthetic, something kind of minimal, we'll be using 16 gigs of, no, it looks like we have a 32 gig kit of some sent over here from Silicon Power. It's their turbine RGB. Like I said, it'll be two 16 gig kits in each box here that running at 3200. Let's see, for cooling, we're running the Deepcool Castle 360EX. That's the RGB edition that comes with the MF120 GT fans. For a GPU, like I said, we've got the Aorus 2070 Super here, just because I like the way this card looks. Got a really cool looking cooler. And then as far as power supplies go, we have the Seasonic Focus GX here. It's an 80 plus gold rated unit, should be perfect for this build. Processor wise, we're running the R5 3600 here from AMD. And then, like I said, just to give a little extra flair, the EasyDL Fab extension cables here. These are their silver and black, or black and gray combo. So we run those today to give the build a little spice. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into building. After much fighting and cable managing, the build is complete. I'm gonna come grab you guys. We'll do some close-ups where you guys can see the inside of the build before we turn it on and power it up and test everything out. As you can see, the build turned out pretty nice. Like I said, I really like the way the cables look. Still need a little bit of training there. They're not perfectly even yet, but I like the black and gray look on both the PCIe cables and the 24 pin there. I think it complements pretty well the kind of black and gray accents on the RAM. Like I said, the card, kind of the same way. And like I said, you can't really see through the bottom there. I was kind of worried about the that being tempered glass, but like I said, it's pretty fogged, or pretty smoked, so you can see what power supply you're using, but like I said, can't really see any cabling through there, other than, like I said, some of the writing on the power supply. And of course, you could take the sticker off if you wanted to. But like I said, we went with the 360 up top. Like I said, just have the MF120 GT fans that come on the 360EX RGB edition. And then we have the CF120 fans in the front. So plenty of RGB or ARGB to wire. I think this build looks really good, even without it. Just off like that. So that's always an option too, just to run it with it off. But this case also has the little lighting bar at the bottom. So this lights up too. And of course, I went and hooked everything up. Shouldn't have to worry about or rely on any motherboard software here. Just got everything powered to the LED switch at the top here, because this one offers an LED switch there. I don't know if you guys can read the writing there, but basically just has power. Like I said, we have it plugged in now, so you can all of the ports light up and then we have the LED button there. So I have all the lighting tied to that, so it'll all be controlled through there. So definitely a cool thing to have if you don't want to rely on motherboard control. But enough of me blabbering on. Let's go ahead, if we can focus here. Let's go ahead and power it up and see what it looks like. Oh, rainbow puked out. Hey, everything works. All right, so we got the CF120 fans up front, the ones that came stock with this case. Then running the MF120 GTs up top. I love the look of these fans. Some of my favorite fans that Deepcool, or most fan manufacturers have put out now. They just look really cool. I like the little X pattern there. It looks really cool. And then, of course, courtesy of Deepcool, like I have in my main rig, I have the logo there. So we're going to adjust down where you guys can see. Just have the Desktops Gaming logo on the brand there. Bump that back up. But yeah, like I said, I think it came out pretty nice. Even like I said, with everything lit up now, still really can't see through there. You can see where I have an SSD from XPG. It's kind of being covered up by the graphics card right now, but it's glowing. I should have moved it up to the top slot here. Would have made more sense. Would have been able to show it off a little bit easier. But I believe that's where I had it left in the board when I put this board up last. But yeah, like I said, pretty easy to cable manage. Like I said, I was a little worried about the tempered glass bottom here, but that worked out nicely and gave some room to get all of the cables mounted in there as well. We'll get one more close up here for you guys of the Easy DIY Fab cables here. I think those came out really nice too. Pretty easy. I like their cable combs a good bit. And then the RAM looking nice as well. All right, let's jump into some thermal testing. Now we got everything booted up, and then we'll wrap everything up. I guess that was just a quick test run there. Like I said, hopefully you guys got an idea of what you'd expect out of this case just off that little test there. We did Cinebench R23 and Furmark, a little stress test together, ran that for 15 minutes just to see how it would heat up. I was actually pretty impressed. Now, obviously for the testing, we left the front glass panel on. I just took it off for reflections for you guys. But I was really shocked, honestly, because I figured, honestly, with this having tempered glass in the front and just having the side intakes here, which aren't huge in comparison. I could definitely see us getting better thermal performance if we did, pop this open or take the front panel off to allow the fans to breathe a little easier. But honestly, they're pushed far enough back. They were able to get a pretty good amount of air passing in between the airflow there. And like I said, I just had the CPU venting out the top here. So like I said, that's where we're exhausting all of our hot air and then the exhaust in the back, of course. But yep, I was honestly shocked. We never really saw temperatures much above 72 or so on the GPU. And then, like I said, for the CPU, I think we were averaging about the same at the hottest portions of our test. Now, granted, that was a stress test, so under real gaming scenarios, looking more at the 3D Mark numbers, that's more indicative of what you'd really expect with a case like this. Like I said, so not the best thermal performer, but as far as positives on the case, I mean, I like the filter is accessible from the back here to get to that guy. I like the overall look. If you care about aesthetics or anything like that, I think it's a very clean looking case, very easy to remove side panels. Definitely plenty of room in here. I definitely feel like I wasted a little bit of space. You definitely have a lot more room for radiators here since you have that 360 up front and 360 at the top. The power supply surround at the bottom is definitely different. You don't really see a whole lot of open with glass power supply shrouds like that. And the fact that you can kind of move it around depending on where you position your hard drive cage is pretty cool. But other than that, like I said, a great performing case. Definitely not the best in airflow performance. Not that anyone would be with the tempered glass front panel like that. I guess if you did need to, like I said, you could kind of pop this open and prop it like so, or take it out completely. It'd be up to you, but would allow a little more dust in if you left it open like that. Anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the overview of the Deepcool Matrexx 70 today. Like I said, I like that it comes pre-installed with those 3 ARGB fans there. And at the price points of filming, from looking around, they were going for around 89 to 90. So not overall too bad for a case this size. Very sturdy, very solid case. Again, not all too bad in price for the case size to include 3 ARGB fans and then the 120 exhaust in the back. So you get 4 fans with the case. Not too bad at all. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by and checking this one out. If you want to see more shots of this, go over to Instagram over at Desktops Gaming. There'll be a link down below. And of course, if you would like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that as well. If you guys do like what we do here, definitely trying to grow this as soon as possible. Like I said, want to get it close to the Instagram soon. Anyway, appreciate you guys stopping by today. Take it easy.